Hey everybody, it's Stacie Duffy, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and I wanted to answer the question of what is earnest money? So for those of you that haven't purchased a home before, or maybe you purchased a home in another state and it was called a deposit or an option fee or something else, here in Colorado, we have an earnest money, good faith payment, let's call it that. So your earnest money is just that. It's money that you offer the seller from the buyer as your earnest intention of getting the deal done. So it serves a lot of different purposes, but I would say typically it's 1 to 2% of the purchase price. It depends. The seller gets to pick that amount and put that in the MLS. You can offer more, you can offer less. I would say if you're in a competing market, plan on offering at least what they're asking, probably more. But that money is money that a third party will typically hold, usually the title company, sometimes one of the brokerages will hold it. And it's money that is your way of saying, I intend on getting the deal done. And if I don't hold up my end of the contract and I don't do what I'm supposed to do as a buyer, then seller, this is your liquidated damages. So for any damage that I've caused you by keeping, your house off the market for other buyers for 3 or 4 weeks, or etc., that is your money to keep as damages. So given that, a lot of people are worried that, okay, what if I don't like the house? How do I get my money back? Here in Colorado, our contracts are extremely buyer friendly. Personally, I think they're very, very, very buyer friendly. So you have multiple objection deadlines. And in Section 3 of the contract, it's dates and deadlines. Any objection deadline is the buyer's opportunity to say, I object, I have an issue with this. And if the buyer and seller can't resolve it by the resolution deadline, which is usually a couple days after for each item, then the buyer can terminate the contract and get their earnest money back, typically. The seller has up to 3 days to sign the earnest money release. And if not, then the title company usually says, hey, y'all go figure this out. I'm not getting in the middle of it. But if the buyer is contractually objecting based on their rights, then you are legally have the option to get your earnest money back. I will say that. I don't want to promise anybody anything. I'm not a lawyer, all that jazz. But so you have an opportunity to object based on inspection items, and the legal verbiage in the contract for inspection objection is based on the buyer's sole subjective discretion, which means you can walk up to the house at 8:30 on a Saturday night and you don't like how the neighbor's dog barked at you or looked at you, or how some kid down the street gave you a funny face. That's your sole subjective discretion to object. So that's here in Colorado, that is very open. It is very, very, very buyer friendly. But anyway, a lot of people ask what earnest money is. It is money you will need to have available up front when you make an offer. And that check is not just put in a drawer somewhere. That check is cashed by the title company, and those funds are held onto, and you get that money back at closing as a credit towards your closing costs, essentially money that you've already paid. So like a deposit, like anything else. But anyway, it's your way of saying I intend on getting the deal done. So if you have more questions about this, please feel free to comment down below, or you can reach out to me directly. My contact info is on my website, and the link for that is down below as well. But yeah, thanks so much for the time, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.